to know and thank you from us to get to know the people that loved you back. There's going to be just we invited a few people to speak. A lot of people wanted to, but of course, A, short notice, and B, like, you know, it's Paul, what do you say before you start crying too much to speak? So we will firstly just, yeah, thank you very, very much from us to you for coming. Thank you to everyone ever that like gave Paul the love that he deserved. But I will ask Julian, you're talking for?
Yeah.
So Julian is here. He worked with Paulie at Google. We've got a few Google folk here. Wave at them, but they might get scared. They're used to keyboards. So yeah, Julian.
Yeah.
Come up here. Say a few words for Paulie.
Hi. Before I start, I will say, I know those who know my world, he was Paulie. For those of us who worked with him, he was always Junior, so I will probably call him that by just slipping into by habit. I have gotten used to saying otherwise here, but yeah, so I worked with Paul, I mean, technically for like a year, but in practice, we flew things around for the last 12 years. There's a couple of folk here who worked with him at various times. And a lot of us never really officially, it was just Paul collected interesting people who would swap around interesting stories, interesting problems. Often completely insane things, whether that be actual technical problems or just, we worked at a large corporate, there's a lot of large corporate insanity. Over the last week and a half, I guess, I've talked to probably well over 100 people myself. I've been sending updates to people that either worked with him currently or formerly at Google, and some of you from the work you contribute to broader open source stuff. I've got at least 300 people on those lists. It's an amazing group of people, and I guess the thing I'll say is what has not stopped ceasing to amaze me is just I keep getting these stories from people that I hadn't heard of just amazing support, amazing gratitude to the world, to helping people out of shitty situations, to being the support they needed. In some cases, I'm pretty sure to still be here. We have lost an absolutely amazing person. I don't think it's anyone we're ever going to forget. And it's gonna take a long time before I stop randomly going in the middle of something. I should send it to shit. Yeah. Thank you all for coming. It's so heartening to see just so many of you and seeing the outpouring of love from this community as well. Because we've had it in our world, and it's a loss for us, it's a loss for you all. Oh, and
Cheers. I can cheers after everything, I don't care. There's no rules, it's for Paulie.
Yeah. Thank you so
he
much
would have
for
hated
guys
all of
who've
it.
done
So.
much.
I will say, I've got a few stories over the years from Paulie about his experiences at Google. Most of them good, some of them good for reasons Google would not approve. I will say on Wednesday last week, I was lucky enough to be invited/dragged down to share drinks with the Google guys as a farewell, and sitting in a room of by far the smartest people I've ever met, and have them compare notes about just how annoyingly smart Paulie was. It made me feel a little bit better about all the conversations where he lost me 2 sentences in. So yeah, like it was a brilliant mind recognized at every single level, and that's kind of annoying because imagine 40 years of that, we might have world peace. I don't know. Hope not. Like, there's a lot of people out there. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Julian. That kind of been easy. Thank you. There's very little structure. We're not going to open the floor. I did ask a few friends from around the world that said that they would love to be here, love to be represented. If people are filming and they're getting it, hi, love you all. Sorry. People wanted to say something. They wanted to send things through, but they found it as hard to write it down as it is to say, and I completely understand that. But there's a few people overseas that I know meant a lot to Paulie. So specifically Randall, who lives in New York, Mitch, who lives in Amsterdam, is in Paris right now, Harriet, who's currently in London, won't be back for a little while, and countless people that live up and down the west coast of America, United States of America. They meant a lot to him. He loved them very dearly, and I know how much he meant to them. Finally have spoken with his family this week. The funeral proceedings are being planned now. When I finally spoke to her in person, Paul was an absolute angel, like one in a million, but when I rang her, the first thing she said was, "I'm sorry for your loss," which I think it says a lot about who they were as people. And she couldn't be here today. It was a bit too emotional for her, but I would like to say thank you very much to them. She was really appreciative of this and all of you guys and everything that was going to be done. And when the funeral is planned, they're making sure there's room for any and everyone to be there. So we'll be sharing details as they're available, so we can all go and do this, and someone else can lead proceedings, and I can sit in the back. I would very much like someone from Blind Bear was going to be here. I don't know how many people here knew this, but Paul actually was co-owner of a bar in Cronulla called Blind Bear. Very much like he backed every single person in this room. He met someone named Ben about 15 years ago, maybe, at the Beresford. Just said, "I liked you," bought into the idea. They built something together. Blind Bear's going strong. Established 2013, killing it. Ben can't be here because he's working in the brewery they opened 18 months ago. If you know Paulie and what he drinks, you might have noticed he never drank a beer. You might have never noticed that, but now suddenly go, "Oh yeah, Paul doesn't drink beer, and he opened a brewery." He backed people, he backed hospitality, he backed what he thought would make a better place, a better city, a better community, and quite frankly, I'm disgusted with every single other person in the world that isn't as good as him, and yet, it's like, how could we ever live up to that? So unfortunately, Ben couldn't be here today. Mayo is going to come. They have a staffing crisis. You may have heard of it. They unfortunately couldn't make it, but we went out Friday night so that we could hug and cry and share stories. And Mayo literally drove us home from Cronulla to the city so that he could chat for another 45 minutes about Paul and share stories. So if that doesn't tell you how he felt and how touched they were by all of this, then I really don't have any words for you. Hopefully we will get to communicate with the family. I would like it if someone other than me just said a little bit for Burrow Bar, if you're up for it.
Yeah. Paul meant a lot to everyone here. I know it's a pretty fresh-faced team, but there's a lot of the old team here as well. A lot of people that had the pleasure of being close to him and spending time with him. People love playing the game, trying to sort out the tipples. That's how I met him. It was placed up at the bar, and I think Jacob North is not here, yelling at me, "Get away, don't talk to him, I'm taking care of that living." And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And who would have thought that in just under 2 years of me being here, I would meet one of the best people all of us in the room have ever met ever. There's a lot of venues that are going to feel very, very empty without him in it. There's a lot of seats, there's a few very specific seats all along Clara Street. They're not going to have a seat for Paulie anymore, and it's just, everything's just a little bit sadder without him around, but all we can do is remember his memory and the way he was and how he treated people, and we can only hope to do the same for everyone else. I've run out of words to describe what this man meant to everyone and to me as well. but I think all we can do is take his memory forward and take care of each other like he took care of us. And that's all I have to say.
We've got this seat here reserved for him in the corner today. In actuality, like if you've worked since we moved here, our seats around the bar are actually numbered 20 to 30, and we're gonna delete the seat he usually sat at is the one right in front of Lou there, which is seat 23, which is a little bit sort of like greatest of all time reference that I'm actually kind of happy with all of a sudden. We never did get around to telling him that, but he wouldn't have got it anyway because like the fuck does he know about basketball? Yeah, he's yeah, best person I ever met. This is beautiful, and I want to thank everyone that's reached out in the last week and just shared their love, shared their memories. We really appreciate it. It has obviously affected everyone a lot. We've got some shots of Paulie's rum that we're going to pass around. I don't know if everyone's got one already. Joe is amazing at his job. Thank you, Joe. If everyone's got a drink, we're going to... Joe, you up to lead it?
Really?
Alright. Paulie loved this. It was a big part of like just why he felt involved. Paulie spent his life always being the smartest person in the room and way too humble to admit it. And that sort of conflict internally, I cannot imagine. But the reason he loves hospitality was like he never ever felt like he was at home, like he fit in, and we made him comfortable. Every single person here that made him a drink, made him happy, made him smile, made him laugh, made him comfortable, I thank you. From the bottom of my heart. There are tall ships.
There are tall ships.
There are small ships.
There are small ships.
There are ships that sail the sea.
There are ships that sail the sea.
But the best ships are friendships.
Are friendships.
So here's to you and me.
Here's to you and me.
Alright. Let's play Dance Monkey and get drunk. I am gonna sit down.
Good work, guys.